Expanding war. Explosions shake Eilat following Israeli retaliatory strikes in Yemen. Special coverage. Related news. A new and dangerous phase. Key reactions to Israel's strike on Yemen's Hodeidah port. A new and dangerous phase. Key reactions to Israel's strike on Hodeidah. News. Fearing Houthi attacks on strategic facilities. Emergency meeting of the Israeli government. Fearing Houthi attacks on strategic facilities. Emergency meeting of the Israeli government. News. The beginning of a regional conflict. The scenario of Israel's first strike on Yemen. The beginning of a regional conflict. The scenario of Israel's first strike on Yemen. News. We will strike them anywhere. Reactions of Israeli officials to the Hodeidah port strike. We will strike them anywhere. Reactions of Israeli officials to the Hodeidah port strike. Following an attack by Yemen's Houthi movement on the Israeli capital, Tel Aviv, using drones last Friday, the Israeli Air Force launched retaliatory strikes on sites in Yemen's Hodeidah province in what they called Operation Long Arm on Saturday night. A new and dangerous phase. Key reactions to Israel's strike on Yemen's Hodeidah port. In response to the Houthi drone attack, Israeli aircraft conduct airstrikes on Yemen. The Israeli Prime Minister claimed that the airstrikes targeted the Hodeidah port, which is allegedly used to transport Iranian weapons to the Yemeni group. Responding to the Yemen attack, Netanyahu says this is a message that we can reach anywhere. Meanwhile, Houthi media reported that the Israeli airstrikes targeted fuel tanks that supply electricity in Hodeidah, not military sites. On the Israeli airstrikes, Houthis claim no military targets were hit. The Houthi Supreme Political Council vowed to retaliate against the vicious Israeli aggression that targeted civilian sites in Hodeidah. Their military spokesperson, Yahya Sari, stated that they are preparing for a prolonged war with this enemy until the aggression stops and the blockade on Gaza is lifted. Fearing Houthi attacks on strategic facilities, emergency meeting of the Israeli government, Iran condemns Israeli attack on Hodeidah. In response to the Israeli airstrikes, the Houthis declared that they are preparing for a long war with Israel. Reacting to the Israeli airstrikes, Houthis prepare for a long war with Israel. The Houthi-controlled health ministry reported that the Israeli attack resulted in 84 injuries, most of them severe burns, as an initial casualty count. 84 injured in initial toll of Israeli airstrikes on Hodeidah, Yemen. Hours after the Israeli strikes in Yemen, Israeli media reported mysterious explosions in the southern Israeli city of Eilat. Hours after Yemen strikes, an unidentified explosion shake Israel's Eilat port. The conflict is far from over as Israel sends a message to Iran from Yemen's Hodeidah port.